Trade, investment, security sectors to receive attention as Nigeria-Netherlands deepen relations. Ogun Free Trade Zone takes stock after 10 years of stimulating business growth. And in business, CBN Monetary Policy Committee retains rate at 13.5%. Good evening and you're welcome to Channel 12 News. My name is Nta Abeokuta. Nigeria and the Kingdom of Netherlands are pledged to deepen and expand the highly beneficial relations between the two countries in critical economic sectors, especially trade, investment, and security. This is contained in a communique issued after a high-level engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and the visiting Prime Minister of Netherlands, Mark Rutte. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
It was a warm and befitting welcome for the Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte by President Muhammadu Buhari on his first official visit to Nigeria. After the exchange of pleasantries with their respective countries' delegations, comprising ministers and chief executive officers of some major companies, the two leaders retreated for talks on areas of common interest. Apart from reviewing the progress made regarding the implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding on Deepening Bilateral Relations signed in 2018 in The Hague, the two leaders described as welcoming the high levels of bilateral trade volumes as well as private sector investments. A communique signed by the Nigerian ambassador to the Kingdom of the Netherlands and the deputy head of mission of the Netherlands Embassy in Abuja noted the contribution of Dutch private businesses to the Nigerian economy, while Nigeria confirms its commitment towards continuing reforms for a conducive business and investment environment. The Netherlands pledges to continue assisting Nigeria for an increase in agricultural productivity, especially horticulture, seed, and sustainable palm oil production.
To Dutch people, everything in this country is huge, is big. It's absolutely clear that we have a lot to offer each other. There are already strong economic ties between our countries. And I'm proud to say that the Netherlands is Nigeria's third biggest trading partner, as an exporter and as an importer of Nigerian products. And there's still a lot of room to expand our trade. The future of Dutch-Nigerian relations is full of opportunities. President Buhari and I will work hard to make sure that together we seize those opportunities. And I'm looking forward to that future together between the Netherlands and Nigeria. But can I also say that I look forward to working together with President Buhari, because we have really struck a relationship which I value highly.
President Buhari and the Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte also discussed the challenging security situation in Nigeria, the fight against human trafficking and humanitarian issues, with Prime Minister Mark Rutte acknowledging the sustained efforts of Nigeria in the fight against insurgency as well as encountering violent extremism. He promised necessary support by the Kingdom of the Netherlands towards mitigating the impact of insecurity and displacement.
For example, we discussed in 2018 at length, just to mention one issue, the Lake Chad question, and how can we work together? And we hosted a meeting in the Netherlands earlier this year on Lake Chad, and what can we do, let's say, in the immediate future? So separating it from the more structural solution. What can we do in the immediate future to use some of the Dutch expertise in terms of water? And you know you have to call us when you have too much or not enough. If it is not clean or too clean, we can help you. And as the President was telling me, I think 30 million people you mentioned are depending on the lake itself and the economy coming out of it. So this is an important, just to mention one example of where we try to be helpful.
The next round of consultations between Nigeria and the Kingdom of the Netherlands will hold in The Hague in 2020. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has written the Senate seeking approval for the 2019-2020 budget estimate of Niger Delta Development Commission. This is in pursuant of Section 18 of the NDDC Establishment Act. Nigerian to Tijani reports.
Section 18 of the NDDC Establishment Act. The President of the Senate, who read the communication, noted that it is the first time the Red Chamber has received a budget proposal for the NDDC ahead of the fiscal year requested. Coming under matters of urgent public importance, the Senate also adopted a motion on curbing electoral violence moved by Senator George Sekibo, representing Rivers East. Also adopted under matters of urgent national importance was the motion on the elimination of violence against women by Senator Betty Apiafiu, Chair, Senate Committee on Women Affairs. 4 bills, including one to establish the federal universities of Gashua in Yobe State and Wukari in Taraba States, passed second reading and were referred to the Senate Committee on Tertiary Education and Tech Fund to report back in 4 weeks.
The House of Representatives has resolved to constitute a committee to investigate alleged security breach and violence witnessed during the November 16th governorship elections in Kogi and Bayelsa states. Najana to Tijani again completes the report.
In adopting the motion from the Deputy Minority Leader, Tobi Okechukwu, House members agreed that the report of the investigation after being conducted should not contain the name of any political party. The House is also to investigate an oil spill which led to fire outbreak in a community in Delta State, as moved by Representative Roland Ibapa. The Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, read a presidential communication notifying members of the submission of the 2019-2020 budget estimate for the Niger Delta Development Commission for consideration and passage.
Away from the National Assembly, the people of Badagry have expressed absolute confidence in the federal government's desire to check cross-border concerns in the overall interest of the country. Anthony Forson reports.
When the federal government's high-power delegation touched down at the Seme border for an on-the-spot assessment, it was obvious that all does not seem well. Reason? It is no more business as usual, where the federal government loses and a few people feed fat. The Information and Culture Minister told the youths of the area to sustain their confidence in the present administration, as President Muhammad Buhari means well for their future. Babatunde Humpwe is a member, House of Representatives from the area.
We support government policies. Despite the fact that it's coming with pain, but we are fully in support of the closure because we believe that it's going to bring good things to us.
And to his people, he equally called on them to be law-abiding and respect constituted authority.
To always be peaceful, to always cooperate with government and ensure that wherever they put us, or wherever way they say we should move, we should cooperate with the security people.
The federal government on August 29th decided to close its borders for some security reasons. From the Seme border control post, Anthony Forson, NTNU.
Back in Ogun State, the Gwandong Free Trade Zone Igbesa is one of the fastest growing free trade zones in the country, developing the non-oil sector of the nation's economy, which is one of the cardinal objectives of the federal government. As drums are rolled out to celebrate its 10th anniversary celebration, the exercise is to ensure that the zone is celebrating the achievement of 10 years. Details of that report will come in a subsequent bulletin. The United Nations has reaffirmed its commitment to ensure that women are adequately included in the center stage of global engagements. The president of the 74th UN General Assembly, Professor Tijani Muhammad Bande, gave the assurance while interacting with Nigerian women at the first day to mark 16 days of activism to end violence against women in the world. Basita Ipang was at the Center for Women Development venue of the event.
In their various groups and distinctive colors, with no ethnic or party disparity, Nigerian women gathered to receive the 74th Hunger President, a gesture that is heartwarming in the estimation of the guest.
We cannot advance society or achieve any SDGs if we do not make the inclusion of women at the center of what we do.
Our strong hope is that since a Nigerian is presently the President of the United Nations General Assembly, so much will be achieved to advance the cause of women in Nigeria under your able leadership.
The visit coincided with the beginning of the 16 days of activism to end violence against women. It was an opportunity for Nigerian women to discuss extensively issues that affect Nigerian women.
People that have been displaced, that they face this violation every day. So it is real, and we all must come together to see how we can fight it.
We have to address the root causes, because if we accept sexual harassment, if we accept domestic violence, if we accept early marriage, if we accept trafficking of girls, then we are laying the seeds for what actually happens at the end, which is this extreme form that we call rape.
We look forward to every interactive section and pray for faithful, fruitful deliberation that will push the women agenda.
A candle procession was made in memory of women who died as a result of gender violence. Back to Taipei, NTA News.
The ECOWAS Election Observation Mission in Guinea-Bissau believes the country will soon have a president that is truly the wish of the people. This is part of the parliamentary declaration of the mission following the November 24 presidential election. The ECOWAS mission commended the electoral body, security agencies, including ECOMIB, for what it described as peaceful election. It urged the candidate to accept the result of the election.
Constitute a capital step in the consolidation of the achievements, democratic achievements of the people of Guinea-Bissau. This election will allow to close the cycle of that march and would normally end the political crisis in Guinea-Bissau.
The next level here is to have a new president, to have a new government, and the economic situation can be resolved for the welfare of all the people of Guinea-Bissau.
12 candidates, including the incumbent president, are contesting the seat. Channel 12 News continues after this time. You're welcome back. The commitment of the federal government towards the realization of the second Niger Bridge is fast gaining momentum. This is evident in the pace of works going on at the site. Austin Ejidemodu reports.
From the formation yard to the casting station, workers apply their engineering skills in piecing iron and concrete together in work soon emerge at the second Niger Bridge with dual multi-lanes. With the substructure already completed, the bridge deck is being prepared for onward incremental launching from the Asaba ends of the bridge.
I'm right here at the Onitsha end of the second Niger bridge, which is under construction. Precisely, it has been designed with taller and bigger columns, giving room for navigational that will allow bigger ships to pass through to the end of the Elam port, which is located a few kilometers away from this bridge.
The project supervisor from the Federal Ministry of Works, Martins Oluwaseyi, explains that from the Onitsha end of the bridge, engineers are carrying out free cantilever balance routine, which is critical in achieving the superstructure of the bridge.
The stage where we are now is a stage where the bridge deck itself is being constructed. The top of the bridge itself, where vehicles are going to ride on, because all other stages have been completed.
Human and material resources are never in short supply, as the supervisor is optimistic that the project will be delivered in due time.
Progress is running on course. On some item of work, we are ahead of the program itself. In some of the other items of work, we are on schedule. And the expected completion date of February 28, 2022, I think it will be met.
Apart from these businesses, these local fishermen in the area are already counting the gains of the second Niger bridge when completed.
I'm so happy, man, because people are suffering during the time of December. You see, it goes there every year. You see, people will stay on top of the bridge 2 days, 3 days. So we thank God for the federal government who remember the social people to come and do the second Niger bridge. But we are doing the work they move very, very well. It's not the same finish.
1.7 kilometers separates the existing bridge from the second Niger bridge under construction, a distance away from making a dream a reality. I'm Austin Edemodo, NTA.
The poor state of roads with its ripple effects on the socio-economic development of the country has remained a theme of concern for government and the citizenry. This is what informed the meeting of the National Council on Works holding in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, with stakeholders brainstorming on the way forward for the country. Umo Basi Edet has the details of the report.
This is the situation across some parts of the country, with commuters and motorists daily thrown into untold hardship. With the meeting of the highest policy formulating organ of the work sector ongoing, hopes are high that the outcome would address the many challenges bedeviling this sector.
Problems of the country in terms of road development and the rest of it is mild. So you would know that something is done until maybe at a reasonable level when you have seen the signs here and there. But I want to assure you that progress has been made from last year to now.
Permanent Secretary, Cross River State Ministry of Works and Housing, Dr. Ihot Achu, says the meeting is apt as it will consider various options available in road construction towards meeting international best practices.
If we had had policies before in the past and they have not really worked, this kind of meeting will look at such policies and see how to, change them to fit current times.
The 25th annual meeting of the National Council on Works has as its theme infrastructure as the pathway for prosperity and draws delegates from across the country. In Calabar, Umo Basedet, NTA News.
A behavioral change that will reverse the ugly trend of open defecation is key towards the attainment of 2025 target of open defecation-free Nigeria. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria made these statements while discussing the topic. Janatu Adams, Sahid reports.
Nigeria is ranked among countries with the highest number of people practicing open defecation globally. The practice is said to have negative effects on the health of humans.
World Bank Report 2012 said that 122,000 Nigerians die. Water-related, sanitation-related, and hygiene-related related causes. Out of these 122,000, about 68 are children. So we are losing children, we are losing adults. Facilities everywhere, at home, at work, in the market, on the roadsides, at schools, everywhere we do every activity, play, worship, work. But then the mindset to use it is another one.
The guest commended President Muhammadu Buhari for signing the Executive Order 009, which is aimed at ending open defecation by 2025. They also insist on more proactive measures by government at all levels to change the narrative. In Abuja, Murijana Adam Said, NTA News.
Television, as an aspect of electronic broadcasting, has passed through various stages of evolution leading to the digital era. However, its dominance as a medium of mass communication appears to be threatened by the emergence of the social media. In this report, Akim Jimo finds out from practitioners what the future portends for television broadcasting. This report is here presented. Invented by Philo Taylor Farnsworth in America in 1927, first mechanical television broadcast station was called W3XK and had its first broadcast on the 2nd July 1928. Since then, television broadcasting had passed through a series of evolutionary stages worldwide for better performance and to improve quality. Nigeria is not an exception as the first television, the Western Nigeria Television, the first in Africa, was established in Ibadan on the 31st October 1959 by the then Premier of Western Region, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, while Sir Anthony Nahoro was the then Minister of Information.
Long remembering, history had been made in and by the Western region.
Over the years, private television broadcasting stations were established by individuals to compete with Nigerian Television Authority, which metamorphosed from Western Nigerian television. With its numerous advantages and disadvantages, the evolution of the social media seems to be threatening the existence of television broadcasting.
So it has speed, it's fast, and very, very collaborative. You can say it's a threat because more people use it.
Television is the one that gives you the real thing. You're seeing the visuals and the audio. So there's no way you can fake it. Social media, you can tell lies. In fact, most of these days, what you have on social media are mostly lies.
Most of these law and ethics that regulate the practice of journalism are not being strictly adhered to with social media. But in television, you can still know the source of the information, and that information will pass through series of gates.
Youths, however, have divergent opinions on the point of convergence between television broadcasting and the new media.
I'll go for social media. Why? Because social media is faster and easier to access than the television. Because this social media stuff, it does not require much electricity like the television.
I prefer television to social media because television spread news. It does not spread fake news as social media.
What then does the future portend for television broadcasting in the wake of the advent of the social media?
In as much as there is technology, television will continue to improve. Hitherto, all these cameras we are using now, you carry it on your shoulder. Now it's been miniaturized. And programming in particular, because of programming, content will make television tick.
It's an ongoing process. I mean, every day is a new day, and I'm sure the regulatory bodies every day are trying to ensure that they keep up the step.
So I think there is need for us to regulate social media so that it will continue to complement the effort of television.
The respondents unanimously warned youths against embracing the negative messages from the social media, while advocating that they utilize the positive side of the new media. A generation of youths who are equipped with relevant vocational skills will help Nigeria meet many of our contemporary needs, especially now that the country looks to reduce our unemployment rate. This is the submission of some stakeholders while speaking on the need for skills acquisition for youth. Adeni Taiwo reports.
Moses Ojo was at a crossroad at some point in life. Though an NCA graduate, he had no job and was unsure of what to do until 2012 when he took up a 9-month vocational training in fashion designing. This move empowered him and changed his story.
I came here for ICT. So later, I joined fashion designing. I have a fashion workshop now in Ibadan.
His story and others like Rebecca Adeshogun, another fashion designer, and John Ogunbolu, a tailor, is a pointer to the fact that a functional education that places premium on skills acquisition can take Nigerians to greater heights.
Technical education is seriously still lacking. Plumber, electrician, artisans are things that we still need very much in Nigeria, particularly a good finish.
It is not enough to have BSc mathematics or physics. After working for government, where do you go from there? Whereas if you have a small, thing, something that you have a passion for, if you train for that thing, you can set it up, and even at 60, 70, 80, you can still have somewhere to go.
To halt Nigeria's continued dependence on foreign products and services, especially in the area of fabrication and manufacturing, the society must look inward.
When you acquire a skill, and you can use your hands, sky's the limit. The way forward today is to have a vocation with which you can use your hands to produce something.
Skilled workers and artisans can perhaps embrace more training in their areas of specialization to make their vocation attractive for patronage. In Abeokuta, Adeni Taiwo, NTA.
The Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria has retained the news. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, disclosed this during a press conference at the end of the two-day MPC meeting held on Tuesday at the Apex Bank's headquarters in Abuja. He explained that the committee unanimously voted to retain the MPR after the rates were reduced from 14% to 13.5% in March 2019, the first time the MPR was reduced since July 2016. Comedian actress Lizzie J, known as Omo Ibadan, has described her celebrity status as a problem for her while in school. Let's join Oluwatosin Fashetire for details and more on Entertainment News for tonight.
On Entertainment News tonight, one would have presumed that comedian and actress Lizzie J, all known as Omo Ibadan, had a smooth academic journey. However, the petite actress, who became famous through her comedy skits on Instagram, said possessing university degree was a tough one for her. The actress said she wanted to be a medical doctor, but ending up with a degree in microbiology. In an interview with journalists, Omo Ibadan said being a popular student came at a high price for her because lecturers did not give her preferential treatment. Omo Ibadan, who has followership on her social media handles, stated that the ideas for her skills usually come at night. Meanwhile, barely a week after a star studied in Dubai, reality star Bam Ike Olawunmi, otherwise known as Bam Bam, has announced that she is expecting her first child with Tope Adeniyan, aka Teddy A. Their white wedding, which trended on all social media platforms last weekend, received praises from her fans, friends, and well-wishers. Bam Bam pointed the attention of her over 1.2 million followers to her baby bump photo when she posted on her Instagram page. Other celebrities and social media influencers also graced the occasion, which considered to be the One Africa Music Festival. On this note, we wrap up NTA Entertainment News for tonight.
Now to tomorrow weather forecast. And that concludes Channel 12 News for tonight. I am Nta Abeokuta. Good night.
Ẹ̀ka ìdúnàádúrà, ìdókòwò àti ètò ààbò yóò rí àkíyèsí ní kankan bí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àti Netherlands ti ṣe sọ àsọyépọ̀. Agbègbè ìdókòwò Gordon, ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ṣe ayẹyẹ ọdún 10 ìdásílẹ̀ rẹ̀. Ọ̀run ṣolú Síkírù ní orúkọ tèmi, ìròyìn náà rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àti orílẹ̀-èdè Netherlands ti ṣèlérí láti túbọ̀ mú àjọṣepọ̀ wọn nípọn sí i nípa ṣíṣe àmúlò àǹfààní onírúurú orílẹ̀-èdè méjèèjì, pàápàá jùlọ lórí ìdúnàádúrà, ìdókòwò àti ètò ààbò. Èyí wáyé nínú àtẹ̀jáde tí ó jáde lẹ́yìn ìpàdé tí aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari àti Mark Rutte ti ilẹ̀ Netherlands fẹnukò sí. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Adamu Zambo jábọ̀ ìròyìn. Ẹ gbọ́ ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ ìròyìn náà síwájú sí látẹnu Ṣèyí Ògúnbáyọ̀.
Olórí orílẹ̀-èdè Netherlands ló ṣàbẹ̀wò sílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà bí aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari ṣe kí káàbọ̀ pẹ̀lú ikọ̀ ìṣàkóso ìjọba tí ó ní nínú àwọn alákòóso ẹ̀ka ìjọba àti àwọn olórí aláàbò. Àwọn olórí orílẹ̀-èdè méjèèjì ló ṣèlérí àjọṣepọ̀ tó dán mọ́rán láàárín orílẹ̀-èdè méjèèjì náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti jíròrò lórí àwọn kókó tó ń kọ àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè náà lóminú. Bákan náà ni wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ lórí àdéhùn àsọyépọ̀ lórí ìbáṣepọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè méjèèjì, àdéhùn àsọyépọ̀ lórí ọrọ̀ ajé láàárín àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè méjèèjì náà, èyí tí àwọn aṣojú orílẹ̀-èdè méjèèjì ní orílẹ̀-èdè Netherlands àti ti ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà kọ́wọ́ sí ló wáyé níbi ìkíni káàbọ̀ náà. Olórí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ṣèlérí àyíká tó rọrùn fún àwọn olókòwò láti orílẹ̀-èdè Netherlands tó fẹ́ dókòwò sílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. Ní tirẹ̀, ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Netherlands ṣèlérí àti túbọ̀ máa ṣàtìlẹ́yìn fún ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà láti ní àlékún nínú iṣẹ́ ọ̀gbìn, èso àti epo pupa. Bákan náà ló sọ pé ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ni ilẹ̀ Netherlands yóò fi ṣe ibùdó tí wọn yóò máa kó ọjà wọlé tàbí jáde sí. Aláṣẹ Buhari àti akẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ ti orílẹ̀-èdè Netherlands sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìgbógun ti àwọn tó ń fi ènìyàn ṣòwò ẹrú àti gbígbógun ti àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí. Ó ṣèlérí àtìlẹ́yìn tó pọn dandan fún orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà láti pèsè ààbò tó dájú fún àwọn olùgbé ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà.
Ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣojú-ṣòfin ti fẹnukò láti gbé ìgbìmọ̀ kan kalẹ̀ láti ṣe ìwádìí ètò ààbò tó mẹ́hẹ̀ àti rògbòdìyàn tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àkókò ètò ìdìbò gómìnà tó wáyé ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kogi àti Bayelsa ní ọjọ́ 15 oṣù yìí. Bí wọ́n ti ń gba àbá náà wọlé látẹnu igbákejì olórí ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ tó kéré jùlọ, ìyẹn Tóbi Òkèṣíkú, ìgbìmọ̀ náà fẹnukò wípé bí èsì ìwádìí náà bá jáde kò gbọdọ̀ ní orúkọ òṣèlú kankan tó ti hùn kó kéré mọ́. Bákan náà, ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣojú-ṣòfin yóò máa bójú wo ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ epo rọ̀bì tó yí dànù ní agbègbè Delta, eléyìí tó fa ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ iná. Aṣojú-ṣòfin Roland Ìgbàpà ló mú àbá náà wá. Adarí ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin Fẹ́mi Gbàjàbíàmílà tún ka ìwé àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́ láti iléeṣẹ́ ààrẹ pé àgbékalẹ̀ ètò ìṣúná owó ọdún 2019-2020 tí ìdàgbàsókè agbègbè Niger Delta yóò máa wáyé fún ìbuwọ́lù. Agbègbè ìdókòwò Gondom ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn nílùú Ìgbẹ̀sà ti gbòòrò lẹ́yìn ọdún mẹ́wàá ìdásílẹ̀ rẹ̀. Bí ayẹyẹ ọdún mẹ́wàá ìdásílẹ̀ náà ti ń wáyé, akọ̀ròyìn wa Lukman Adéfẹ̀sọ ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò àǹfààní ètò ọrọ̀ ajé agbègbè náà. Ó jábọ̀ ìròyìn pé agbègbè ọ̀hún ni ó ti gbòòrò lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ tí àwọn èèyàn Ìgbẹ̀sà pàápàá kan sáárá sí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn fún ìdásílẹ̀ rẹ̀. Bákan náà, gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn Ọmọọba Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ṣe ìlérí pé Ògùn Gondom àti Olókoòlà yóò máa rí àkíyèsí láti lè mú ìdàgbàsókè bá ètò ọrọ̀ ajé ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Ẹ ó máa gbọ́ ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ ìròyìn náà nínú ìròyìn wa tó ń bọ̀. Àjọ àgbáyé ti tẹnpẹlẹ mọ́ ìpinnu rẹ̀ láti rí pé àwọn obìnrin ń kópa nínú ìlànà gbogbo fún ìdàgbàsókè àgbáyé. Ààrẹ àjọ àgbáyé fún ìgbà 64 ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Tijani Mohammed Bamidele ló sọ̀rọ̀ ìdánilójú yìí bí ó ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìgbógun ti dídójú ìwà kò tọ́ kọ àwọn obìnrin láwùjọ. Ó ṣàlàyé wípé dídójú ìwà kò tọ́ kọ àwọn obìnrin ń ṣe ohun tí ó dára rárá, nítorí ìdí èyí oníkálukú ní àwùjọ gbọ́dọ̀ gbógun ti irúfẹ́ ìwà bẹ́ẹ̀ sí àwọn obìnrin. Àjọ ìṣọ̀kan ètò ọrọ̀ ajé ìwọ̀ oòrùn ilẹ̀ Áfíríkà ti sọ pé ìgbàgbọ́ ti wà pé orílẹ̀-èdè Guinea-Bissau yóò tó ní olórí orílẹ̀-èdè tí ìlú fi ìfẹ́ hàn. Èyí ni ọ̀rọ̀ tí àjọ náà fi síta látàrí ètò ìdìbò aláṣẹ tó wáyé ní ọjọ́ 24 oṣù yìí nílùú Guinea-Bissau. Àjọ ECOWAS gbóríyìn fún àjọ tó ń ṣètò ìdìbò náà àti àwọn iléeṣẹ́ aláàbò gbogbo fún ètò ìdìbò alálàáfíà tó wáyé lónìí náà. Ó rọ àwọn olùdíje láti gba èsì ìdìbò gẹ́gẹ́ bó ti wí. Àwọn adíje 12 ni wọ́n díje fún ipò aláṣẹ tí ààrẹ tó wà lórí ipò lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ sì wà lára wọn. Ipò tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ojú ọ̀nà orílẹ̀-èdè yìí wà pẹ̀lú ìpalára tó ní lórí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ìdàgbàsókè orílẹ̀-èdè ti di ohun tó ń béèrè fún àmójútó lọ́wọ́ ìjọba àti àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ kàn. Èyí ló mú ìpàdé ìgbìmọ̀ àpapọ̀ lórí iṣẹ́ òde wáyé ní olú ìlú ìpínlẹ̀ Cross River. Ẹ gbọ́ àtúpalẹ̀ ìròyìn náà síwájú sí. Orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́, ìgbàgbọ́ wà pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìdojúkọ tí àwọn awakọ̀ àti àwọn èrò ọkọ̀ ń kojú lójoojúmọ́ ní gbogbo ojú òpópónà orílẹ̀-èdè yìí yóò dẹ̀rọ̀ láìpẹ́ jọjọ. Bí adarí ìlànà lẹ́ka ètò iṣẹ́ òde àti iléègbé Famous Ezedua ti sọ pé ìgbésẹ̀ onírúurú ló ti ń lọ láti dẹ́rọ̀ àwọn ìdojúkọ gbogbo náà, wípé àmọ́ omi pọ̀ ju ọkà lọ ni. Àmọ́ pẹ̀lú ìtẹ̀síwájú, ipa gbogbo yóò máa làmìlaka. Nígbà tí àwọn mìíràn tó wà níbi ìpàdé náà ṣe àpèjúwe ìpàdé ọ̀hún gẹ́gẹ́ bí èyí tó yẹ lákòókò, èyí pé ìpàdé ọ̀hún á tún máa bójú wo àwọn ìlànà àtijọ́ láti mú kí ó bá ìgbà mu. Aṣojú gbogbo ló wá láti ẹ̀ka gbogbo lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ìpàdé ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹ́ẹ̀dọ́gbọ̀n sí ìgbìmọ̀ àpapọ̀ iṣẹ́ òde orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ló wáyé nílùú Calabar. Àkòrí tí wọ́n pè ní ìpèsè ohun amáyédẹrùn ọ̀nà àṣeyọrí. Ẹ̀rọ amóhùnmáwòrán gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀nà kan gbòógì fún ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tí ń fojú rí ìdàgbàsókè onírànran láwùjọ. Àmọ́ pẹ̀lú bí ọ̀rọ̀ ìkànsíra ẹni ti ń gbilẹ̀ síwájú, akọ̀ròyìn wa Akeem Jimoh bá àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ọjọ́ iwájú ẹ̀rọ amóhùnmáwòrán. Ẹ̀gbọ́n tí wọ́n bọ̀ síwájú sí. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Philo Taylor ni olùdásílẹ̀ ẹ̀rọ amóhùnmáwòrán àkọ́kọ́ nílẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà ní ọdún 1927. Eléyìí tí wọ́n kọ́kọ́ gbé sórí afẹ́fẹ́ ní ọjọ́ 2 oṣù keje ọdún 1928. láti ìgbà náà ẹ̀rọ amóhùnmáwòrán ti di igi àlọ́yè tí ó sì ti la oríṣiríṣi ìdàgbàsókè kọjá káàkiri àgbáyé fún àgbéjáde ìwòran tó múnádóko tó ti bá ìgbà mu pẹ̀lú. Ìdàgbàsókè yìí kò yọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀ bí iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn àkọ́kọ́ nílẹ̀ Áfíríkà kalẹ̀ sí ìlú Ìbàdàn ìyẹn WNTV. Eléyìí tí ó yí orúkọ padà di Nigerian Television Authority ìyẹn NTA ní ọdún 1959. Eléyìí tí àwọn ajàfún ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọ ènìyàn ilẹ̀ Áfíríkà fi lélẹ̀ nígbà náà lọ́hùn-ún tí àwọn olóyè Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀ Sir Anthony Enahoro pẹ̀lú ṣe ìdásílẹ̀ rẹ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán gbogbo ló ti dìde láti lè fi igagbága pẹ̀lú iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ìjọba àpapọ̀ NTA, àmọ́ tí ìtẹ̀síwájú tí ó ṣì ń bá iléeṣẹ́ náà. Àmọ́ ní báyìí tí ẹ̀rọ ìgbàlódé àti ètò ìkànsíra ẹni tí ó ti di tọ́rọ́ fọ́nkálẹ̀ tí ó sì ti di ohun àgbérìn káàkiri, ìpèníjà tó pọ̀ ló jẹ́ fún iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán gbogbo káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè. Àwọn ọ̀dọ́ pàápàá sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ipa tí ẹ̀rọ ìkànsíra ẹni gbogbo tí ó kó lórí ẹ̀rọ amóhùnmáwòrán. Ní báyìí, kí wá ní ìrètí tí àwọn amóhùnmáwòrán ní ọjọ́ iwájú bí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára ìkànsíra ẹni bí ó ti di ohun ìtẹ́wọ́gbà? Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n bá akọ̀ròyìn wa sọ̀rọ̀ ni wọ́n sọ wípé ẹ̀rọ amóhùnmáwòrán ṣì ní àmójútó tó péye ju ẹ̀rọ ayélujára ìkànsíra ẹni lọ. Wọ́n ké sí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ láti máa ṣọ́ra ṣe lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára èyí tí wọ́n fi ń kàn síra wọn àti gbogbo ìròyìn tí wọ́n bá rí lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára, láti máa ṣọ́ra wípé irúfẹ́ àwọn ìròyìn bẹ́ẹ̀ púpọ̀ rẹ̀ ni kò ní okùn nídìí, àmọ́ wọ́n rọ̀ wọ́n láti ṣe àmúlò èyí tí ó dára níbẹ̀ ju èyí tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó lọ. Wọ́n ti sọ pé ó ṣe pàtàkì láti kọ́ àwọn ọ̀dọ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí níṣẹ́ ọwọ́ láti lè mú orílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà ṣe àmúṣe gbogbo ìran rẹ̀ nípa mímú ẹ̀dínkù bá àìsí iṣẹ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Adéníyì Táíwò jábọ̀ ìròyìn pé àwọn onímọ̀ pè fún àfikún iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ pẹ̀lú ìwé kíkà. Wọ́n ti ń pẹlẹmọ́ pé bí ènìyàn bá ní iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ tó yàn láàyò, bí ó bá kúrò lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ọba tàbí kó má ṣiṣẹ́ ọba rárá, irúfẹ́ onítọ̀hún ti rí ohun gbójúlé láti rí ajé jẹun. Akọ̀ròyìn wa tún tẹ̀síwájú pé bí àwùjọ bá ṣe àmúlò iṣẹ́ ọwọ́, gbígbára lé kíkó ohun ilẹ̀ òkèèrè wọ ìlú yóò dínkù jọjọ, yóò sì mú ìdàgbàsókè bá ètò ọrọ̀ ajé orílẹ̀-èdè pẹ̀lú. Tó ìròyìn wa fún ti àṣálẹ́ yìí kò ní jù báyìí lọ, àmọ́ kí a tó máa lọ, ẹ jẹ́ kí a rán yín létí kókó ìròyìn wa. Ẹ̀ka ìdúnàádúrà, ìdókòwò àti ètò ààbò yóò rí àkíyèsí ní kọ́kọ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àti Netherlands ti ṣe sọ àsọyépọ̀. Bákan náà ni àwọn wá wípé agbègbè ìdókòwò Gondon ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ṣe ayẹyẹ ọdún 10 ìdásílẹ̀ rẹ̀. Ìròyìn wa kò ní jù báyìí lọ. Ẹ pàdé wa fọ́kọ̀tù ròyìn láṣàálẹ̀ ọ̀la láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Ó dàárọ̀, òun rè lásán.
Àjọwíwa àzánpádídótè àlọ́ṣọ́ndó sí àhàrà wẹ̀mí sèdọ̀ yìí náà mọ̀ nùkúndàgbé àyítẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tán tó hòlùdé àyítẹ̀ lọ kótó Netherlands kó yédọ̀hó tó pọ̀. Àjọwíwa sí òtẹ̀ ìfọ́nù tán tó Ògùn yìí mátẹ̀mẹ̀ ẹnẹ̀ Ògùn Gondon Free Trade Zone wẹ̀mí sẹ̀dọ̀ émù àgàyí àjọwùwà tán tó pè àwògbòdò dé ètò ètè. Mikudo Hujayi ni Clemson Television ho Nta Abeokuta tó mú tó mi ti jẹ nínú mi tọwọ́ Anthony Gandonu. Nàìjíríà pẹ́tọ́ àyítẹ̀ Netherlands tán pé wẹ̀mí sẹ̀dọ̀ yìí kò sọ odó pàgbé nàdómọ̀dọ̀ yé hẹ̀ àgàyí pláwà tó pọ̀ he kò tí ì tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ náà àyítẹ̀ àwẹ̀ lọ́lẹ̀ lọ́wà tó pọ̀ lọ́lẹ̀ he tí ì tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ náà àyítẹ̀ àwẹ̀ lọ́lẹ̀ wẹ̀ sì gán sọ́mọ́ àgàyí náà tó pọ̀ àjọhó àhàlà àyítẹ̀ àwẹ̀ lọ́lẹ̀ tán lọ́sùn àjọwíwa àzánpá dídótè kódó àlọ́ṣọ́ndó sí òkòkò ehe wẹ̀yìn ònú èyí dọ̀ tó gbèjì fọ́ndó ó nẹ́mẹ̀ èyí kàǹbó sétán tó wòlé yìí bá sí òkúrídé ẹni òkúrí àtòdódé tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ náà èyí tí nǹkan Muhammadu Buhari kódó mẹ̀ẹ́sọ́yìn jóná nǹkan tọ́ àyítẹ̀ Netherlands tán ẹni Mark Rutte ìwà buwaba jóná èyí tọ́bi tán Adamu Sambo wọ̀nyí kí gọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn dọ́wánà mi. àyítẹ̀ gán Muhammadu Buhari kò sọ kàwé dóhánlá òsèǹdó ọ̀dà hó àyítẹ̀ tán gbọdọ tóbi bíọ́ náà lọ dídó nìyí tán ẹni àkọsíṣá sí ti tó pé 2019 kódó 2020 tán èyí náza tornado yẹn àgàyí pla àyísísìn tọlọ ní Niger Delta tán ehe wẹ̀mí sẹ̀dọ̀ yìí kàn dóhánlá òsèǹdó ọlọ́lẹ̀ nàdómọ̀dọ̀ yìí dó àlọ́ ẹ̀mẹ̀ ó di ònú hezẹ̀dá yìí òsèǹwé àyítẹ̀ tán àhàlà fọ̀tán nìkún àwìtọ́ òsèǹwé lọ́tàn hedó tọlọ ní Niger Delta Development Commission tán tè tó àyítẹ̀ ẹ̀mẹ̀ ìrìn tọ́ nítàn Nàìjíríà Tìjání wọ̀nyí gígọ́lù lọ́tàn dówánà mi. òsèǹdó ọ̀nùkún mọ̀ nínú àyítẹ̀ tán wẹ̀mí sẹ̀dọ̀ yìí kò sọ yí ìrìn wá podó nàdómọ̀dọ̀ yìí dótè ẹni àìsínbẹ́dẹ́ hẹ́nà gbàdó pọ́nà àlọ́dọ́nùkún jìnnà àlọ́ṣọ́ndó sí òhó kódó gbà kí sáwọn ọmọ ẹ̀hẹ́jọ kó tó òfòwí bọ́lá ti tó àsán fọ̀tàn nìkúlẹ̀ kótọ́ òpè òsùn ìwúlòkúrè mẹ́mí tètàn ẹnẹ ẹwà àyímátẹ̀ngá sí òfòwí bọ́lá ti tó ẹwà àyímẹ̀tò Kogi kódó Bayelsa àyímátẹ̀pọ̀ ìrìn tọ̀ nítàn Nàìjíríà Tìjání wúwẹ̀sọ yí gígọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn wánà mẹ́dógọ́. àsánpá sí àhàlà ẹnẹ ogun Guangdong Free Trade Zone hetinto ìgbẹ̀sà tó mẹ́ wẹ̀yìn gbòpó tó àsánpá hetinto ogun mátẹ̀mẹ́lú sọ́tò àgàyí gànjí lọ́sọ̀ zọ́nbọ̀ àgàyí dótò pípẹ́ àsánpá kódó àjọdé dótò tí òkókó tó Nàìjíríà yìí tẹ̀mẹ̀ búlẹ̀bù èrò àhàlà lọ wẹ̀yìn àhàlà dé máa ní àmì kan sí àhàlà gba ṣìgbà ẹ̀yìn àhàlà dòpó ètò bíbẹ́ dógó àgàyí àjọwó àyítẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tán tó àyímátẹ̀mẹ̀ tó gbòmìdé àsánpárọ́ dógbé òhun kódó hàlẹ́ kó tán náà tó jàyà náà pé àwòtọ́ yìí tán déédéé àsánpárọ́ tèwẹ̀ mísẹ̀dọ̀ nìyí tọ̀ nítàn Lukman Adéfẹ̀sọ̀ ikán dé àjọwò sí òhó kódó dé àsánpárọ́ tó yìn àgàyí kódó dàgbé pé àjọwò sí òhó kódó tó ogun ìmọ̀tẹ̀ kódó àyítẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tán kó mẹ́ gígọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn wọ̀ náà jẹ̀mìdì tó yìn nítàn èèyàn wà yìí náà tó sọ mẹ́. gbẹ̀nà pọ́gbẹ́ àìhàn tó tan ẹni United Nations wẹ̀mí sẹ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ vọ́ọ̀nù síndéjì ìrìn tàn náà tó mọ̀dọ̀ èèyàn àgàyí kọ́láwà tó pọ̀ tó yàn sílẹ̀ ṣinṣin bonasọ mọ̀dọ̀ àlọ́ṣọ́ndó hebisi ètìn náà yàn sílẹ̀ sí òhó tó àìhàn tó gbẹ̀gbù mẹ́ mẹ̀yìn nǹkan tọ́ àkàn gbànú kàndé gbànú fún ẹ̀nẹ́tọ́ ẹnẹ pírí gbó gbẹ̀nà pọ́gbẹ́ àìhàn tó tàn òmùyàn tó Tìjání Mohammed báńdé wẹ̀mí sẹ̀dọ̀ éèdò ẹ̀hẹ́ kò sọ́nà àdọ̀ gbígbó ètò òhùn ètò tó hódọ̀ kódó yìnyín sí àyítẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tán lọ́pọ̀ tó àsán títà èyí dóhìá gòná òkè fọtọ́nukúlòkótọ́ dèé yìí dó tòbí bá sí àpọ̀nzé pé òun èyí náà yẹ́rọ́dọ̀ àdánfọ́n ló yẹn sì jí sí òhótò àìhántò lébùúmẹ̀ báàsì ìta èèpàn wọ̀nyí gígọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn wọn ní mọ́tò wẹ̀nùdó ètìǹtò òtẹ̀ ìhìnà yìí náà mìíràn sí lẹ́nu bá sí òkúrígbòtè ètìǹtò àbújá tó fìdí títò lọ ewa yìí mẹ́tẹ̀. wà lọ lílẹ̀ gọ̀lẹ́dọ̀dàgbèjì wẹ̀yìn òmùdòkó àtàngàn èsìngàn vọ́lẹ́díọ́ dọ̀dàgbèjì ẹnẹ òmìnira lẹ́dọ́pẹ́ gbọ̀nfílẹ̀ pépé ìdẹ́gbẹ̀tọ́rẹ̀ tó bìbà sí ìdọ̀ ehe bìbà sí ṣòwòsàn gàzán bọ̀ òmùmọ̀ tó hàn sọ ìjà ẹnẹ òkú 2025 tán he gbìnà pọ́gbẹ́ àìhàn tó tán dó lọ́sùlọ́sùn nàìjíríà tán dó nàdóbìkẹ́ àìtẹ́ nàìjíríà tán ẹnadó àdá yẹn tó lẹ́ẹ̀tọ́ fílẹ̀ bí bọ̀ yìí máa sọ́dún yẹn ní pé gbọ̀nfílẹ̀ gbígbà mẹ̀yìn jóná nítàn lẹ́hìn wádọ̀ọ́ tó títò pẹ̀lú ó sì títò ń ti ìtàn ní good morning nàìjíríà jí wẹ̀mí sèdọ̀ yìí dọ́ èyí tó kò níjẹ́ tó tó hódọ̀ dọ́gbọ̀n tàbí náà òkú lọ́tàn jí yìí tọ̀ mítàn nàjàtù tìjání adams wẹ̀yí gígọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn tó wà náà ni. jọjà alẹ́ tó àyí tẹ̀ ẹ̀mí wẹ̀mí sèdọ̀ yìí kó sọ́ọ̀ dórí akódì mẹ̀sìn gáhìn àgàyè ìpárá yìí tẹ̀ nàìjíríà tán nídọ̀ yìí dó àlọ́zán tó àlọ́ yìí tàn mẹ́ ehe wẹ̀lú ní sọ pé ẹ àzọ́mọ̀ mọ́ wa sí òhòhò ètò àkànpá ẹ̀ àyítẹ́ nàìjíríà tán bọ́nà zọ̀mọ́ bọ́nà dé ọ̀pọ̀ martin sí òhòhò tó jọ̀jàlẹ̀ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bọ̀gbà kíkàrí sọ́nà jọ èdè jọ̀jàlẹ̀ náà dóté dótaná àzọ́mọ̀ dótó àlọ́mẹ̀ sí òhò náà sọ tó dépò ehe lẹ́wọ̀ yín òní èyí dọ̀ gan tó wòǹdé gbẹ̀tọ́ èyí kó dúró ẹ̀ dótò hódọ̀ tó ti tó dé èyí bá sí dógbòn àlọ́zán pínpín mẹ̀ sí òhò náà jọ̀jàlẹ̀ ìwà yìí mẹ́tò abẹ́òkúta fòun ìrìntàn táíwò adéníyì wọ̀nyí gígọ́ọ̀lù lọ́tàn dówánà mi édọ̀hó náà mi dógọ́ dógbòndé òmùlẹ̀ tó yìí dótò àìtí nàìjíríà tán rẹ̀. lọ́mọ ọ̀gán ètò ìgbèmí kémi ní sọ́dọ̀ nùkún kódó tó kó dáyìí náà dé ìjà tó sọ tó máa sí nǹkan mi káká tó jẹ̀bù lọ́rùn àkúrò náà nù kúrò mi tán lẹ́kọ̀ọ́.
Abeokuta, station for the young and the old. Nta Abeokuta, solid as the ground. Nta Abeokuta, station for the young and the old.